Hi guys. Woo! I am on YouTube streaming for the first time first time. This is really awesome. I am doing something different. Normally I go live either on Facebook or on Instagram, but today I felt like live streaming because I've got a couple of questions that I wanted to answer that came from followers and also from a Clarity Call. Wow. So guys, if you're up, if you're live, let me know where you're at. Give me a like, comment, whatever the heck you want to say. My name is Anna. I'm a dating coach for men, presently helping them get into relationships via solid dating techniques. That's pretty much why I'm here. And I wanted to come on to talk to you guys about what's been happening lately. And I wanted to talk about a couple of things that have been going on my end, how I got here, and also kind of how you can be a bit more solid on skills that go into dates, but can also be in life. Just be in life, full stop. So, very exciting stuff. I'm a little bit nerve-wracked. I don't know why, but I will go on with this. I have made some notes. Because I had a comment from a guy that was asking, when it comes to dating and stuff, am I wasting my time by not being on a dating app? But I'm talking to you, so I'm kind of like trying to get out of this funk. And I'm like, well, actually, the dating apps are just a chat app. You can never ever be out of skills, like social skills, like getting out there. So, and by that I actually mean being social, networking. The things that go on a date are purely when you understand how you work as a person and how it relates to your dates, basically. So I'm going to go into that. First, I'm going to tell you a bit about what happens with me because I do say on my profile that I'm a blogger, author, and coach, and I'm going to tell you what that means and how I got here. So, thanks guys for watching and listening. I got here via lots of writing, lots of observing. I'm actually originally Ukrainian. I was born there. I was raised in Sydney because my parents migrated to Sydney, Australia. I was there since I was 4. Then I kind of moved suburbs and I was a bit of a bookworm by 11. I started actually creating my own stories by that point. So I've got like a stack of romance stories that I created. Compliments to my friend from high school that I made. And then I did a Bachelor of Arts. I did that in Sydney, and then I did my master's in Switzerland, and that's kind of partially where everything comes through. So what happened was I kind of wrote a lot on themes, and they were like life themes, but also very like philosophical themes. But I found that by talking about them with people that I knew, it seemed to like help them realize a few things. So that's kind of where it came from. And I called it personal research, which was really easy to say because I was always at uni. I was kind of always writing about stuff, and then I'd find out about what's going on. Excuse me while I take some water. I was looking into all kinds of things that were going on at the time. And this kind of I kind of got into blog mode because by the time I was writing my master's thesis, and I'll never forget it, I wrote 20,000 words in 2 weeks. It blows everyone's minds. My trick was actually that I had all my material together. I just had to write it all up. I had like stacks of papers around my bedroom, I remember, and I had stacks of papers on the carpet. I had tea with me, and I was just writing like a monster, basically, which was okay because at the time I was going out to party like every night, if not every second night, to blow off some steam. So lots of fun. And so the blog started essentially when I was just actually about to actually, I think I was either done with my master's. I was actually writing a thriller at the same time. So as you can see, the thesis was kind of screwing up on my head. I needed some kind of an outlet for all the writing and all the work I was doing. The thriller was actually one of the ways I could kind of escape all the writing and all the research. I had a beautiful little master's library where I had it, all the good memories. But the blog actually didn't open until I was studying in the south part of Switzerland, which was Lugano, and then I went into the north part of Switzerland, which is the Swiss German speaking part. So I was actually learning two languages at the same time, I was getting so much discrimination from like some of my Aussie friends. They're like, "What's with the accent? What's going on?" I'm like, "Kids here can't like understand Australian English. I had to make it American with the R's and the S's and the T's." And then of course down here I went all bogan again, as they call it. I'm just saying that for fun. So that's essentially what happened. I created the blog because I needed like an outlet of some kind because I was traveling a lot and I had no space of my own actually. So by getting some portion of the digital space, it was kind of like a candy store for me. There was stuff I could control, there were visuals, there was stuff that I could write about, and I thought I just want to get it out. But I also thought, well, wait a minute, if it's a blog, what am I doing with it even? So I started with a plan. I would blog weekly, which was not hard for me since I write like crazy. And I would write weekly, I would submit weekly, and I would do that for about 5 years, if not slightly more or less, which was kind of ironic because now it's been over 5 years. I have more than 100 followers on stuckonamountain.com, on WordPress, and so much is going on there. So it's funny what happens when you have low expectations about something. It was literally just my outlet, and people would ask me tons of questions on a certain topic, and I'd be like, here's the link, here's what I wrote, and people would be like, wow. So I hope you guys get all that. When I remember getting my internship in Zurich, which was like a big deal, and I had tons of jealous people looking at me. It was like a status for me as well. Like, I worked really hard. I graduated my master's. I started this career. I was in marketing communications. I was looking after like a few departments in a multinational company that was a leader in its market at the time anyway. So that was fun. I did that for about 6 months, and then I decided to go to Australia because my family was there for Christmas. So that's what happened, and then I stayed there because I was like, holy crapiola. By that point, I just wanted to have a bit of a breather from all the visa issues. Being an Australian in Switzerland or being any kind of foreigner in Switzerland, it's not exactly easy. So that's what happened. And well, not just that, but I had tons of self-healing to do. I was looking after kind of the family, mum, with, suppressing my own needs and issues, which was interesting because by the time I got out of all that, the masters got out of the job and people saw that I was actually still sane and going after it, they started asking me all kinds of questions from quarter-life crisis. Actually, this happened once. I was in Sydney and people were like, oh my God, she's back. So I just, kind of gave people a couple of tips to regain their sanity and believe in themselves more. And that's kind of how it kept going. So that's kind of how I kind of sort of got into coaching. And I didn't even know it at the time, but one of my friends was saying, Anna, I don't see you at the office. I think you'll be, one-on-one with people. That's going to be your work. And I just thought, that's so weird to say. I was still, I'm like the oldest kid. I am the only child, and I've got an Eastern European background. For those who know, that essentially means you've got a lot of pressure and a lot of you have to kind of make it. You have to make it, and you have to make everyone happy and proud about you. You're essentially the hope of the family. You're so to put it, like the Statue of Liberty in America. You're something that people can look up to. Work hard, party hard, get out there, get your dreams going. Funny enough, my dreams were more on the creative side rather than the corporate side. So since then, I was working in a sales team. I was working for a wine club for a few months. And then after that, I took a breather, and I then, several months later, got a job for another multinational company in a marketing communications role. But it was also kind of sales support as well. So because it's consumer products, consumer electronics products, there was a lot of stuff happening with logistics. And so that actually kind of helped me put my mindset into publishing my first thriller. So that's a lot of fun. So a lot of things going on. I'm not your average person, not your average coach, which is why putting this whole story down for me has been a little challenging. And I've spoken to people about it too. But people kept on coming up to me and asking me questions, asking me how it's going on. The best one has been that so far, for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been back in Sydney, I have had no relationship that's lasted more than a month. And it's been a bit odd because I have, done my part, tried putting myself out there, and it's been interesting. However, with all my experience and insights, I found that that's helped a lot of guys out there, and a lot of sort of I basically give hope to the guys who are looking for it, and I give a bit of insight, and I teach them to look at the fundamental principles of what they're looking at, as opposed to just going, okay, well, this is crap, I'm going to go, which happened in the latest success story that I just made. You would have seen it. Hopefully, I'll put it up here. If not, you'll see down below in the comments. There's a guy that managed to lock in his girlfriend, and now they're building a family together with a house and everything involved. So awesome source to him. And so after that, just going to look back on my notes. So funny enough, why I'm actually telling you guys all of this, it's not just about me, but it's also to tell you a bit about skills. The skills from my work put me in mindsets and shifted my mindset into understanding how to sort of put a product out there, like I've done with a Kindle book, which has been, I really do feel so thankful for all the modern tools that we have right now, because we can actually do just about anything for free and just put it out there and then, make money from it. Kudos to the guys that actually bought my book, by the way. It's been fantastic and nerve-wracking. Never published anything in my life. I've been writing a lot. I've been posting a lot. To me, writing and posting something is so much easier than selling things and putting stuff out there and talking to people about it. I mean, I can talk to people about it, but in order to kind of get that trust building to happen, it's been an interesting journey. So it has been a tad overwhelming just to find out, where to go, where's the go, and what do I want next? Because all the time in every job that I've had, I was like, well, what else? What do I want from it? And do I see myself being here for the next 2, 5, 10 years? And the answer was always very murky. So I kept going. But the reason why I'm saying it is because between the communications and the marketing and all the skills and all the stuff that I've had in my jobs and going between people and cultures, I had so much knowledge and information and experience that just men would come to me going, what's going on with here and what do you think I should do with that? And every time I said something, it was both experience and the insight and also technique that I'd tell them. And then they would run with it. I've had one guy tell me that he really disliked his neighbor and what it was doing to his dog. And then he switched his mindset and became friends with that neighbor and his dog, and now they're good. And he goes, you reminded me of your blog because you're always talking about the mindset shift. And I thought, wow, that's awesome. And then I had other kinds of examples. One of them is also a girlfriend who was really struggling at work, not because she wasn't doing it well, but because she wasn't sure if she liked it, if she wanted to keep going with it. She was in the medical field. And so after all our talks, she realized that actually, the field is fine, the job is fine, she can like it. And now she's moved from public medical to private medical, and she really enjoys it, and she feels thankful for it because she's got more freedom and she can do more things, and she's got more gratitude from her boss on her work. So well done to her. And when it comes to dating as well, I've given techniques to guys to get out of their little shell or get out of their minds and actually go talk to people and understand what that's about, which I've also got in the social hack for introverts. Feel free to DM me or follow me and ask me about that one because I'm more than happy to give it to you. And so that's a bit about that. So now I'm going to go into the whole, am I wasting time with this whole dating app thing? Well, guys, this is how it is. When I did my comms degree and my family saw that I seemed to not really be using it in my job as much, I always said, actually, I am, because I've been on social media. I've learned how to use it. That's a lot of communications. I have published a book, and I've also learned how to coordinate people to help me out with that. That's also a lot of project management as it is. Bit of risk management as well, because I had to give space for error in what could happen and, all the potential stuff that could happen. So that's a bit about that. And then with the sales, I learned how conversation can actually build a rapport, but also, lead to more than just people signing up with you. It can lead to more understandings. And with the blog as well, I learned how to create clickbait titles that drive the curiosity, which I've noticed that not a lot of people can do. So I invested myself in every single place. So by now, it's actually given me huge platform to build off. And that's kind of where the cold coaching thing came from. I'm learning the business sector of helping you guys out, which is why I want to come on and tell you guys about this. So does this make sense, guys? So between the insights and the general life stuff, I've created like the freebies and the trainings, and I love creating them, but I love hearing about what also happens when you guys are doing that, doing the work and experiencing life and understanding that, life can actually be so much better than what you assumed it would be. So in that, what is it about the whole dating app situation that makes you think, oh, well, if I'm not on it, then I must be wasting my time if I'm getting help from a dating coach? That is not the story at all. It's a complete myth that just because you might be on it but not doing anything that's about it, that you're not progressing. How? Well, it's like I teach in the trainings as well. It's like the trainings. You go and you kind of build off on understanding who you are, what your preference is, and then you start to understand, how to talk to people and also get your agenda across without being, really freaked out about it and how the other person's going to talk, because, that one way or another, you're going to be light and you're going to take it or leave it. Go into that type of thing. Next is, so you pace yourself, which I also am big on. You pace yourself, you create a timeline for yourself, and you're not going to put a big deal on it. It's just an experience for the hell of it, right? And I'm talking about any kind of chat, any kind of situation where you're going into. These things always need a bit of work and time. And then the network. The network I'm big on. The network can be anything from social media stuff. Like, honestly, men have come to me in the DMs anywhere. I'm talking LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. Where else has it been? Just anywhere. And, it's kind of obvious when a guy wants to go for the girl that he's interested in, and he just goes for it and makes his agenda clear, and then they go try it out. There's nothing to it. So especially when you've got that bit of anxiety and stress behind you, it's just all about repetition, building up that skill factor. That's all that it is. And that's exactly how I found it in my experiences as well, from going from my degree and my networking to building off on the experiences that I had from my jobs, and now teaching you guys this stuff. And believe me, it took a while for me to train myself to actually present like this on camera. In fact, when there's two cameras, it gets even more fun, because then I'm like, I do not want to look awkward on any of the videos. No one does, actually. But the more I notice what I'm doing, the better I get at it. So that's pretty much dating as well in a nutshell. And so I think I'm going to go into another point, which I think you guys might find really informative, which is just called inspiration versus jealousy, which I've heard another manifestation coach talk about, which I think is really going to be relevant for you guys. So that's the skills. That's a bit about my background, and this is where I come in. My reason for being is that every time I jumped from travels to work to experiences, it was mainly because I was not satisfied with what I was seeing in front of me, and I wanted more and better, and I knew that I might risk something, but then knowing more as I go will be worth the effort. And then as I saw more guys come up to me, I realized that there's every single hope and chance in the world that I get to help out kind-hearted, intelligent guys with getting out of their heads and planning up and being more in their masculine energy, more in their masculine role, no matter what's going on, and land that partnership, land that relationship, and become a unit, and have a family. The biggest dream is to for them to grow old with their partners. So I am very honored to be part of that experience and part of that journey. If you guys relate to any of this, just you can follow me up on Facebook or Instagram. Just DM me a chat. The links are down below in the description box. Now, what I wanted to talk about as well was those skills that go into any kind of sector, between say networking at home, networking at work, between going online and building yourself offline. Like I talk about mirror work as well a lot. It really helps to do that. You build up on skills, so by the time you're actually out there and being social, you might actually get over 3 hookups or 3 or 4 dates while you're at an event without even realizing it, because you're just having fun and it's just your skills speaking up for themselves. So let me know if this resonates. I'd love to know what your opinions are, guys, in the comments. This video is made for you and to kind of tell you about what I've been up to. course, Lockdown Diaries hashtag is a completely different thing, but I'll also be blogging about that. So I'd love to know your opinions on that. So as I was going to say, the inspiration versus the jealousy. So there's two different kinds of people. There's someone like me who actually draws inspiration from what someone else is doing in their energy and their work, and it's part of the reason why I'm actually here doing this live. And then there's the other kind of person who gets jealous and kind of feels like they're not worthy of whatever it is that they're seeing from the other person. So that's something like, for example, someone's got the car, someone got the bag, someone got the promotion, etc. And they got something else, and you're like, why not me? But it's not even so much why not me. It's more like, what is it in me that can't reach that? Well, it's actually nothing in you. It's just blocks. I was actually just using the other Friday night to write out and journal all the fears that I had before really getting onto my courses and my trainings to kind of teach you guys more on that topic. And there were like 4 to 5 blocks of fears that I was working on. And that is exactly what you can do as well. So DM me for more information on that. So I hope that kind of helps you guys, kind of gives you some insight. I'm more than happy to do another live like this. Should be so fun. I love to see like the chats go up and down and see the questions and comments so that I can build up as well. If you want more help on this or more in depth, I am available for one-on-one. You can definitely DM me for that. I have a whole schedule, etc., that you can look into. If not, then the trainings link should be in the description box, so you can go from there. Whew, I think that's more or less it from me. Just trying to check my notes and see if I've missed anything. I'm really excited about this info, and I'm really happy to share this information. It gives me a little bit of something to do as well while we just had our Freedom Day in Oz. Got my bling up again, and why not? So that's about it from me. I got to get going and have my lunch now. It's a bit late, 2 p.m., but anyway, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.